All right, for the 2007 Crf230, the problem with this bike was that the customer said he tried to rebuild the top end by itself, and when he put everything back together and tried to electric start it, the bike was kind of making like it was locked up, like it wasn't spinning over, like a rough knocking noise. So, but other than that, yeah, that's how he bought it to me though, without the plastics, the gas tank, and everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna see what's going on. But the first thing I'm gonna start with is taking the Stator Cup off and see, cause he think that the timing chain fell down inside this. So I'm just gonna take the cover off, Stator cover, and we're gonna see if that's the problem. But if that's not the problem, we just gotta pull the top end back off and see what's going on. But other than that, we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I got the side Stator cover off, and just like I thought, man, like his cam chain is definitely not on the flywheel, the teeth on the flywheel, because as you can see, when I'm spinning, you know, the flywheel, the chain is not moving at all, so the chain is definitely not on there. But other than that, you know, that make me question, did he really put the top end on, like, correctly? Did he put the piston on correctly and everything? You know, but he said that the cam chain just wasn't on right. But, you know, it made me want to question that and want to pull the top end off just to make sure. But I'm gonna take this flywheel off, and I'm gonna see what he want me to do. If he just want me to put the cam chain back on and see what it do, or he want me to double check everything. But other than that, we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so what I went ahead and did was just pull the motor off real quick. I had talked to the customer, and he was telling me that this was his first time putting the top end on a 4-stroke, and we all know how difficult a 4-stroke could be with the valves, the timing and everything, even putting the piston on right in the oil ring. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna pull the top end off real quick, and we just gonna make sure everything good in the, like the valves not leaking. I'm gonna check the piston. And he said this is a new top end, so I'm just gonna double check and make sure he put everything in right. But other than that, we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I pulled everything, the whole top end off. I checked everything, pulled that the Stator off. And yeah, everything definitely is new. The rings and everything is good, on point. That cylinder is good. His valves, I checked the valves, if they were leaking. The valves is good. So yeah, the gaskets, everything. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just start putting the top end back together. Then we're gonna set the timing and check the valve clearances. Then we're gonna put it back on the frame. But other than that, we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I got the cylinder back on. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the valve head on, the cylinder head. And then we're gonna start putting the cam back on in the cam cup cover. Then we're gonna check the valve clearance, then we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, got the top end back on there. Got everything tied and lined up right. So the next thing we're gonna do is just check the valve clearances. So we're gonna check the exhaust, which is a .004. Both of them is .004, intake and exhaust on this bike. Yeah, see, this is a little too loose in the intake. Yeah, so it's a little too loose. It got some play. So I'm just gonna tighten up the clearances a little bit, not too much. Because what it'll do is, if it's too loose, it'll make that kind of noise when the engine is on. It'll make like a tapping, clicking noise. So I'm gonna tighten that up, then we're gonna check them again, and we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I tightened up the valves a little bit, and you can definitely see the difference. They're not as loose as they was, and that's how the gauge should go in. The gauge should have some type of tension on it, but not too loose. See, that's perfect. And the intake, see, got a little resistance on it, so that's perfect. So next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna put the motor back on the frame. I'm gonna tighten the motor up, put the pipe on and everything. We're gonna make sure it has spark. And then we're gonna clean the carburetor. And then we're gonna, you know, we still gotta bring the gas tank and stuff, but other than that, we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I got the motor back on, everything on, the starter, everything. Now we just gonna check and make sure it has spark. Turn the key on. So as you can see, the motor is turning over nice and smooth. It have nice spark. So just like I said before, the next step, what we're gonna take is cleaning the carburetor. So I'm gonna take the carburetor bowl off, blow through all the jets and everything, put the spark plug back in, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I put everything back together. I put this KTM 450 gas tank on here just to see if it had the V-touch, make sure everything good. Put the air in the tires, so we just gonna turn it on, see what happens. Nice idle. Nice and smooth.